So let's start with a question to Katie, Jeremiah, and Kelsey about how did your customers or clients' shopping behaviors change in 2020? How has that informed, the way your brand or the brands you work with approach discovery, acquisition, and loyalty? Katie, would you mind kicking us off?
Of course. Thanks, Tanya. You asked kind of what had changed. Well, first, I'm sure like everyone on here, the plan, we threw it out the window. And in 2020 and continuing, it was about recognizing the need for seamless integration into her life versus selling. Our customers are very busy moms that now all of a sudden we're dealing with work at home, school, intermittent childcare at best. And they were also early adopters to online shopping, but this was for so many, a whole new level. So we considered it our jobs to make things easier and best in class for her, for where she was going to learn about us, purchase us, and try us. And for us, it started with discovery and trial through trusted sources. So we went right to the source and concentrated on our current customers over, new customer acquisition, and worked with our retailers on their retail.com platforms, our own e-commerce, thinking about trade, rethinking. Our sales team was awesome about rethinking trade programs and stacking. Influencers, we work with Tagger, who's incredible at being able to up the game of reporting, so we could constantly learn about where we were spending and shift and get more of a megaphone with the right moms we love, that were so passionate about us, and creating word of mouth through our O-Farm loyalists and e-commerce programs.
So I'm coming at this from the influencer marketing industry perspective. And we all know that there was a huge surge in digital consumption last year because we were all stuck at home on our screens all the time. And so one way that we were able to help brands, and in particular food brands, find new customers and reimagine the discovery process was by helping them get these new customers and get in front of them where they already were, which is on their screens and especially on social media, without fatiguing the customer. So there was this huge, the amount of time we spend on social media doubled last year in 2020. It was about 3 hours in 2019 and about 6 hours on social media per day in 2020. That is obviously a huge jump, but the way that we reach customers really matters. And that's why influencer marketing is so valuable, because it is meeting the customer where they are. It is a part of a seamless integration into that social media experience, rather than serving them what they might consider a disruptive ad. There was a study done that found that compared to traditional display ads, influencer marketing campaigns saw an 11 times higher ROI. So what Tagger's been able to do is help brands accelerate how much they are allocating in their budgets for influencer marketing, because the payoff is so much higher, and it's allowing them to find these new customers who are extremely dialed in already and predisposed to enjoy the kind of content that that brand might be serving them.
It's such an interesting question, because we try to, as you mentioned in the intro, we have a very curated model. We have around 5,500 SKUs, which, in the scheme of retail, that's a very small amount of products, with the average grocery store having tens of thousands of products in their aisles. So for us, that means we have to have the right products, and we have to have what our members want and need, but then we also try to keep it fresh and really react and respond to what our members are looking for. And we're always looking for new and emerging brands that are either cleaning up or providing a better product to what's currently available, and or completely innovating, similar to what you're doing, Vanessa, with Omsum, which is a really great concept. So that said, when we launch them, to your point, we have to get them in front of our members and really make sure they're not just following the age-old basket that they always build. And so for us, it's first and foremost choosing those brands and finding those partners and finding really compelling, amazing brands and products that we can bring to our members that we know they'll want, once we do that, then it's really leveraging all of the platforms that we have at our disposal, which is social media, email, site positioning and site placement. And we try to do our best to share that burden with our brands so that we're putting our best foot forward and really getting those brands out to our members, because again, it's a finite amount of shelf space that we have. We're not launching everything, and we're not trying to be everything for everyone. So you'll typically see us deploy when we launch a new brand across all the levers we can pull just to get the messaging out there. And there was a question in the chat just around our content strategy, and it definitely did shift in 2020 to more informative, more recipe driven, more details about products. We certainly saw health and health awareness become just a broad interest for all Americans going through a pandemic. So I think the comment was made earlier, we didn't need to sell, we weren't trying to sell. It was more, how can we get information out there? How can we provide really informative content that our members will actually find useful and can help people solve, making meals. I think my wife made the comment at some point this year, like, I don't think we've ever cooked this much in the last 5 years as we have this year, and trying to get creative and come up with meal solutions every single night that for your family. And we were trying to help our members bridge that gap and do it in a healthy way and provide real helpful solutions. So.